The Saints reboot is finally here, and even though the game is pretty self-explanatory, there are a couple things that took me a while to figure out, and I want you to skip that step. So here are 7 things I wish I knew when I first started playing Saints Row. One thing you should know about me is that I love to spend about an hour with a game's character creator. It's the perfectionist in me. I'm also guilty of restarting games because I don't like the way my character looks. But whether you're like me or not, I'm here to tell you that you shouldn't spend more than 5 minutes in the Saints Row character creator. For starters, the Boss Factory demo, aka the creation tools, were out months before the game, so you should have already spent hours recreating yourself. My other reason for saying this is because you'll have all of the same options at your disposal at any point in the game. The only exceptions are when you're driving and flying. Otherwise, you can be in the middle of a gunfight, editing the size of your hips as you get shot. It's also worth noting that your character is going to be in a uniform with a helmet on for the entire first mission, so it doesn't really matter what they look like. Pick a voice that you think you'll want to hear for those initial dialogue sequences and just drop right into the action, guns blazing.
See, I'm flanking left, as ordered.
When I started Saints Row on console, I was immediately dissatisfied with the sensitivity of my aim and was equally disappointed when I could not find an option to lower it. Unbeknownst to me, the option was in fact available, just not where I expected it to be. Initially, I was looking in the controls menu for ways to change my aim, but that only provided a stick dead zone option. So for a while, my workaround was to go into options, gameplay, and then challenge options. This menu not only lets you dial in the difficulty of things like vehicle combat and enemy durability, but you can also customize how much help the game's aim assist will be. The default lock-on type is short lock, but I found that switching to full lock was exactly what I needed to start enjoying combat more. Some players might even benefit from leaving it on short lock but increasing the lock-on attraction to wide. However, if you'd rather change the sensitivity like I wanted to at first, that option is hidden in the camera settings. There's duplicate menu options all over the place, but for some reason sensitivity only shows up in this one spot. A large chunk of building your criminal empire in Saints Row comes from starting businesses and using them as fronts for illegal activity. These businesses, called criminal ventures in-game, can often be the key to unlocking new story missions and side activities like insurance fraud, so I'd advise buying as many as you can early on. During my playthrough, I was locked out of a mission with Eli and could not figure out why that was the case until I finally returned to the criminal ventures table and realized what I had to build was there as an option. And even though these businesses can be pricey, don't think of it as a waste of your hard-earned cash, because they all make you hourly income once they're up and running. It won't be long before you've earned back what you spent and then some, especially if you eliminate the threats around each one, because that increases the hourly income that can be earned. Just don't forget to transfer your funds from the Cash App on your in-game phone. Fast travel in Saints Row isn't hard, but it's not completely obvious. So other than your apartment and eventually the Saints HQ, you can teleport to 4 additional points in Santo Ileso. These points are marked by a purple icon with a subway car as the image. To activate these points, you'll need to take a picture of the landmark there. Seems simple enough, right? Well, during my playthrough, I ran into a small issue where the guidelines weren't showing up for me. This was mostly a problem at the Panther Rock fast travel point. To fix this, I just walked around the path a little bit, away from the exact point that the icon was showing on the map, and then it finally triggered the photo to work. But hopefully this was just a small pre-launch issue that was fixed with the game's day 1 patch. Stealing cars is cool and all, but owning one is even cooler. Why? Because you can customize the car and make it your own. No more nabbing Brenda's car at a red light and having to be seen driving around with her lame rims. This is why garages are your best friend. At the start of the game, there's one right next to your apartment building. You can store cars here and access them anytime you return. After that, you'll find an auto body shop of sorts on the side of the church that can be used for the same purpose. But at this point, you'll also have Jim Rob's garage as well. Unfortunately, both of these are on the same side of the city, so you have to drive whatever you want to keep all the way around to either location. But these garages can do more than storing cars and making them look nice. They are also where you can upgrade cars. Alongside the upgrades are signature abilities, special, for lack of a better term, abilities that can be unlocked by completing challenges associated with that vehicle. I overlook these way longer than I care to admit, so I suggest you take advantage of them as soon as you can, because some of them are capable of adding a small layer of variety to the traversal and vehicle combat. It took me way too long to upgrade my weapons during my playthrough. This wasn't a huge inconvenience as it didn't cause me to constantly fail missions, but the fact is, stronger weapons make combat a little bit more fun. So don't just look at friendly fire gun shops around town as places to purchase new weapons. Look at them as a place to customize and upgrade your arsenal as well. Similar to vehicles, weapons also have signature abilities, and friendly fire is one spot you can enable those abilities for each weapon as you unlock them. And in order to do that, you have to complete the challenges associated with that weapon. The Stagecoach shotgun, for example, has a buffalo shot ability that can be unlocked by killing 5 martial gunslingers with the Stagecoach. The faster you complete the challenge, the faster you have access to just one more way of making you an unstoppable force. Two useful parts of Saints Row are skills and perks that can be equipped once unlocked after completing special challenges. Something that I wish I did immediately upon starting the game is completing these challenges on purpose. What I mean by this is a handful of these challenges are finished over time by just simply playing the game. For example, making a purchase at a shop or traveling a certain distance by car or by foot. I reached each of these goals passively. But if I looked over the objectives and finished them on purpose instead, I could have leveled up my character and unlocked the skills and perks associated with each level or challenge much quicker. So those are the things I wish I knew when I first started playing Saints Row. They aren't completely game changing, but each one is enough to save you a decent amount of time early on. So what are some of the things that took you way too long to figure out that would help someone else? Let us know in the comments, and like this video if you found it helpful at all. You can find me on Twitter at Devontae Chisholm. Thanks for watching.